आप सब का मुल्क कालेज पटियाला विखे हार्दिक स्वागत है। साडे अज दे विशेष लैक्चर लई साडे नाल जुड़े विद्वान वक्ता पंजाब के स्थापक उद्योगपति सरदार रमनजीत सिंह जी, प्रिंसिपल डॉक्टर खुशविंदर कुमार जी, मैडम शैलेंद्र सिद्धू जी, डॉक्टर सिंगला जी, अध्यापक साहिबान अते सूझवान ਸਰੋਤਿਓ, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਰੰਭੀ ਇਸ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਲੜੀ ਦਾ ਤੀਸਰਾ ਲੈਕਚਰ ਆਯੋਜਿਤ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆਪਣੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਲੈਕਚਰਾਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਰੋਤਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਗਿਆਨ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਅਤੇ ਸੁਤੰਤਰਤਾ ਸੰਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸਕ ਪਿਛੋਕੜ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵਟਾਂਦਰਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਉੱਚ ਕੋਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ ਆਪ ਨਾਲ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਹੋਏ ਸਨ। ਆਪਣੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਯੋਜਿਤ ਲੈਕਚਰਾਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਕਸਦ एक विचारधारक मंच ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆਂ समाज के महत्वपूर्ण पक्षां संबंधी उसारू विचार चर्चा करना है। साडे अज के लैक्चर के विद्वान वक्ता उद्योगपति के अकादमिक जगत के माहर विद्वान व्यक्ति जो सानू अज इस संबंधी मूलवान विचार साडे नाल सांझे करूंगे। साडा मंतव अजिहियां समाज हितैषी शख्सियतां दे विचारां राहीं समाजिक चेतना सिरजना है। आप सब वल्लों मिल रहा भरपूर हंगारा अते सहयोग सानू साडे रस्ते ते होर मजबूती नाल चलण दी ताकत प्रदान कर रहा है। आप सब का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। प्रोग्राम की अगलेरी कार्रवाई चलाउण लई मैं कमर्स विभाग के मैडम
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon to all. Today I feel honored to conduct the proceedings of Lecture 3 of the ongoing Colloquium, which has been organized by Multani Mal Modi College, Patiala, in collaboration with its Alumni Association. It gives me an immense pleasure to announce that the expert speaker for today, Mr. Ramanjit Singh, CEO, Surya Roshni Ltd, is an alumnus of this prestigious institution. The industry and academics need to stay at par with each other for overall growth of the economy and generation of better employment opportunity in the future. An analysis of risk associated with dynamic business environment is the need of the hour, and today's lecture is going to enlighten us on these aspects. Now, I would like to invite Vice Principal Professor Shailendra Sidhu ji for formally welcoming our guest and share her words of wisdom.
Thank you, Professor Parminder. Respected Speaker of the Day, Shri Ramanjit Singh, CEO, Surya Roshni Ltd, Dr. B.B. Singla, Principal Dr. Kushwinder Kumar, faculty members and dear students, I, on behalf of the Principal and Management of Multani Mal Modi College, extend a hearty welcome to our Honorable Speaker to share his valuable opinion and inputs as a part of our series of lectures titled Colloquium. Colloquium is a platform which encourages acquisition of knowledge on a multitude of topics covering a wide range of areas of learning. Initiative to acquaint our faculty and students as well as the fraternity from other institutions with the nuances of the selected fields of interest. In the first lecture, Dr. Gurdeep Singh, Chancellor, Central University of Punjab, Bathinda, delivered an informative talk on contemporary lifestyle and emergence of man in Indian tradition. In the second lecture, Professor Chaman Lal, Honorary Advisor, Bhagat Singh Archives and Resources Center, Delhi, shared his thoughts on the role of press in Indian freedom struggle. This is the third lecture of the series on the topic Academia-Industry Interface. Academia-industry interface is the collaboration of the creative academic world and the commercial industrial arena, which is aimed at accomplishing mutually inclusive goals and objectives. It facilitates the wonderful mixing of rich industrial experience and education. It provides a platform for all the students to get experiential learning, besides preparing them for their successful professional careers. I consider ourselves fortunate that we have the opportunity of learning from the best, as Surya Roshni Ltd, as a renowned manufacturer of fans, LED lights, steel pipes, etc. Once again, I welcome our distinguished guest and sincerely hope that this lecture proves to be an enriching and ennobling experience. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, I invite Dr. B.B. Singla, Vice President, Alumni Association, Multani Mal Modi College, Patiala, and Assistant Professor, School of Management Studies, Punjabi University, Patiala, to formally introduce our expert speaker, Mr. Ramanjit Singh. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce Mr. Ramanjit Singh, our alumnus of this college, my big brother. First of all, welcome Ramanji on this program of Multani Mal Modi College in association with Old Friends Association. Thank you for sparing your time and enlightening our students and the guests on the issue of industry academia interface. Thank you very much. I know Ramanji for the last more than 2 decades. And whenever I meet him, it's a matter of privilege for me because it gives me a motivation to meet him. When we talk with each other on the various issues, we generally get motivated in our life to enhance our capabilities because he's the person who has enhanced various organizations' capabilities in the different capacities since 1985 till date. No doubt, I know him very well, but yesterday night when I was going through his formal CV, I came to know one point which is very important for me to introduce, mention in the introduction of Ramanji, that is change management. Yes, Ramanji has definitely introduced change management into various operations and fields of the corporates during his last more than 3 decades work at the various organizations. Mostly he has worked with Philips India Limited from 1985 to 2015 and worked as different capacities into various various programs and various places of the Philips India Limited. Successfully, he has launched plans on the labor issues. He has converted the loss-making institutions, loss-making units into the profit-making units. He has established the product portfolios for the Philips. He has also successfully integrated the various parts of the Philips India Limited with each other to get the success. He is the center point, the catalyst for the turnaround of the Mohali unit in Philips India Limited from the sick unit to the profitable unit. We are very much proud of that Ramanji is the alumnus of our college as well. I am more privileged that Ramanji is also alumnus of my institute where I am working. He has done the MBA from the Punjabi University School of Management Studies. Presently, Ramanji since August 2015, he is working with Surya Roshni Ltd as CEO. 2 more points when I was going through the profile of Ramanji at present. 2 more points which are very, very much important for the today's world, the corporate world, that is networking and creating the environment to ensure the success with the help of the people. And Ramanji is doing the same. So this shows that how Ramanji is working very well in the corporate sector, and as an institution, Multani Mal Modi College, Ramanji feel privileged and proud to announce that you are our alumnus, and the present students are seeing towards as a motivator. They will definitely do something better in their life when they will interact with you and learn from you. Because two things which comes into my mind, that ability is what you are capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, but it is an attitude which determines how well you do it. So Ramanji, congratulations for a very successful journey during the corporate in the last more than 3 decades. And going through my personal experience with you, one thing I have learned from you that कि कहते हैं अगर मेहनत अगर आदत बन जाए तो कामयाबी मुकद्दर बन जाती है. तो रमन जी से मैंने यही सीखा है, younger brother. Thank you very much, Raman ji, for sparing your time today on my single request on behalf of the Modi College and Alumni Association of the Modi College. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you. Over to Madam Pravinda ji.
Thank you, sir, for introducing our expert speaker to us. And it is the need of hour that the chain management is required, and the work he has done in the revival of the sick units, that is marvelous. So I think his inputs is going to benefit our audience a lot. Without much delay, I would like to invite our expert speaker to share his views on the changing scenario regarding expectations and need of improvement to be done for employment of people in industrial sector. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
First of all, let me thank Dr. Pushpinder, Madam Sidhu, Madam Paramjeet, and as Professor Bharat mentioned, we've been associated for quite some time, and it's coming back to history for me. Remembering my old college, remembering the old days when we were in Modi College, what we used to do, how we did it, our professors, our principals, Mr. Jindal, that time was the principal of the college, and Dr. Surendra Lal ji, Shashikant ji, Bhartwaj sir, all of that. And today, when 2-3 days back, when Bharat mentioned to me, could you do it? I said, fine, definitely. It's a pleasure and it's an honor for me to be interacting with my college colleagues, my friends, and the students. And I would like to share whatever experience I have gained in these, say, 35 years of my professional career. I did my graduation from Modi College. I passed out in the year 1981, and then definitely went to Punjabi University, did my post graduation. I did my MBA from Punjabi University, and then joined Phillips. Importance of the educational institute where you study you cannot put it in words. I think it is not only the curriculum which is taught to you or the classes which you attend, it is also involuntarily you learn so many things. Like I mentioned, Jindal Sahab, who was the principal, we used to see him the type, he was a very bold guy. He used to take things head on. He used to be going around the college, talking to people. He used to discipline people and all. So that involuntarily we learned from him that it is just not studies, it is also these type of traits which are required when you administer a unit or in your professional career. Dr. Surendra Lal ji, very quiet, calm, listening, his abilities to listen very empathetically to you and then give you certain solutions. So these type of things which also help you when you get into your professional career. So these are the foundation years of your life, and I'm really thankful to the institute that it has shaped me to where I have been. The foundations have been laid in Modi College also. Now coming to the topic, what is to be discussed and what on what we would share our views. As rightly put, there are many changes which are happening in the industry today. The industrial landscape or the industry, if you see, it's a complete change of what we have seen. The changes what you look at is, say, like the customer expectations. The customer expectations are going extremely high. The customer is becoming, rather we say he's the king. The customer is becoming the king. Competition is increasing. You are now no more a local player. You are a global player. You have to face global competition. There are so many technological changes which are happening, and you need not only your own self to upgrade yourself, but also the organization has to be shaped, or the vision of the organization has to be made accordingly, so that it is able to meet those challenges which are being thrown by the external world at you or at your organization. Say, I have been in my total professional career in lighting industry mainly, whether it was Philips or Surya Roshni. If we look at lighting, started our career in lighting. Lighting was hardly, GLS जो ਆਪਾਂ ਘਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ bulb use ਕਰਦੇ ਆ 25 40 60 100 4 wattages bulb ਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ 3 wattages tube lights ਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, what we used to call it the FTLs tube light. That was this 40 watt and 36 watt, and that was the lighting industry. There were very few players who were there in the lighting industry. But now if we look at lighting industry, it's a complete change. With the onset of the dynamic lighting, now everyone is talking of LED lights and everyone is aware about LED lights. There is a complete change. If we look at it now, the need of electronics, which was earlier not there, is definitely become a key to your success. So ordinary bulb now has given way to LED bulbs, LED downlighters, LED tube lights. We are talking of smart lighting today. Smart lighting is lighting, you can control your lighting through your mobile. You can control lights through your various instruments which you have for controlling light. Even in case of professional lighting, if we look at it, city lighting, earlier it was basically, we were talking of street lights. All the roads lighting was done and that was it. But today, if you see, even the professional lighting has become completely smart. The lights can talk to each other. They can provide data to you. Sitting at one place, you can control the lights of the complete city. So you don't have to send people around to see which light is burning, not burning. Everything is available on a screen sitting in one place, and you can monitor even the consumption of power, the light output of the lamps. You can even monitor the traffic. Light can be, increased or decreased based on the traffic intensity on that road. So many features have come into place in lighting industry, where we see a complete sea change, what I would say. And based on these changes, you have to keep your organization abreast and also align it to those changes and train it to those needs. And it is just not lighting. If we look at transport, say like companies like Uber, Ola, who were hardly we had heard about, are today guys who are controlling the taxi business. What have they done? Well, they are basically platforms wherewith you are connecting the customer to the supplier. And if we look whether they have their own assets, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ, ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. They only have a system ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ customer ਨੂੰ connect ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ with the supplier, the provider. The convenience has gone up as far as the customer is concerned. Earlier, we used to go down, look for a taxi availability. You didn't know whether you'll get it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now you pre-book it, put the time, put your address, it's at your doorsteps. Similarly, it is not only the convenience part, it is also the competitiveness. If you look at the pricing, it is much more competitive as compared to what we used to pay earlier. If we look at, say, banking industry, we go back, banking industry earlier, every need, you had to go to the bank. पैसे कढ़ाने ने बैंक च जाओ, उत्ते lines लगो. It used to take you at least 2-3 hours to withdraw some money. But today, I think it is so convenient. Anywhere, any place, ATM jao, paise kadao, and you are through with it. Even payments, that time checks issue karo, banks jaake deposit karwao, hun sara kuch online hai. Matlab you can just, so with all these changes you can see what type of changes are required as far as the employee is concerned or the future generations which are going to come into this industry. Even say like if we talk of this meeting, I think when we were students in the college, we never visualized you could have virtual meetings. Well, it was just be हाँ जब lecture है then you have to go to the auditorium and then there would be a lecture. But today virtual meetings, well, these type of meetings, even if we talk of the industry, work from home culture, which has recently come up because of the COVID. Earlier, everyone thought that presence in the office is very important. But I think today, work from home is becoming an established norm, especially for the service industry, you could say corporate offices. And this is also given a lot of reduction as far as if we look at the brand or the industry. It is also convenient for the employee because his travel time has gone down, his expenses have gone down on petrol and all. So all these things have changed, which I think when we were in college, we could hardly visualize that this type of changes will come. Look at the automobile industry. If we look at now the cars which are shifting from these diesel or petrol cars into electric cars. So this will again change the landscape as far as the automobile industry is concerned. Mechanics which we see today, their skill sets may be outdated with the new technology which have to come, which is coming up, the electrical cars, or they'll have to re-skill themselves, relearn things, relearn the earlier ones. So if we look at across industry, there is a lot of changes what we are seeing, and these changes definitely need changes not only for the employees who are presently working. As I mentioned, when we started, it was just GLS and TL labs. And today, if we look at, we are looking at smart lighting. So the skill set required, which was required by us, say around 10, 15 years back, is no more valid, or the relevance has gone down drastically. Today, you need different skill set for that. Even just take a small example. Earlier, we hardly knew how to type. But once the computers came in place, you had to do it on your own. So you had to learn how to type, which letter is where. So these things are continuously happening. So you need to change. You continuously keep learning because that is how you keep yourself updated. You keep updating your skill set and keep it relevant for today. Because that skill set which was relevant yesterday may not be relevant today or tomorrow. So we need to keep on changing. So this is also impacting the requirement of the industry from its future employees or future people who would join or are job seekers, I would say, for the future. And they are being prepared by our colleges, universities, schools. So the curriculum, as far as this curriculum is concerned in the universities or schools, also has to be aligned to the changing needs of the industry so that the employability of the people or the students is high. So how can we keep this change regularly happening? I think would be if the industry and academia work together continuously and they keep discussing and then seeing what changes need to be made, what course correction needs to be made, so that the education which is imparted to the students is relevant today. And one of the advantages what I would see in this is also because of the global competition what we have now. As I was reading somewhere that if we look at China, the demographics, the aging population is very high and the employable population is very low. Whereas in case of India, it's a good spread across ages. So what you can see is, you have a lot of boys, girls, students who will be future. They have to be future ready to be employable. And for that, these schools, colleges, universities would play a very key role. And we will have to prepare these students in such a way that they become employable not only in India, but they can globally be employable. And that would be a big positive for the Indian academics also, and the Indian workforce, that we will have opportunities across the globe. So for that, I think there has to be a lot of change which needs to be done in the curriculums. The mix between the theoretical classes and the practicals. The case studies could be, we have more of case studies where student can learn, look at the cases, and then really apply the theory which is being taught to them, so that they keep brushing up their knowledge and also keep learning how to apply during their formative years only the basic theories which have been taught to them. In certain places, yes, you do have the summer trainings, you do have in the engineering colleges also semesters where kids have to go to the industry and do the training. But practically, if you ask me what my experience is, that is not taken seriously, neither by the industry, nor by the students, or nor by the institutes. Really, they don't follow up that what has been done, what was the contribution of the individual, industry, how did they support the student to learn practically, although it is there, but it is not being followed the way it should be followed, or it is not that helpful as it should be. So these are type of things, where you could collaborate and bring or become the students would be definitely having a lot of advantage with this. That will be the role of these, I would say, these colleges or schools or the universities. But at the same time, for an individual to be employable, he also himself has to have a lot of things in him or her, for improving the employability. Say, like the knowledge what he has gained, and the knowledge, how do you apply the knowledge in your practical life when you are going through it. Then the individual, or he or she, needs to be what I feel is a good listener also. You have to be aware what is being told, listen to people, listen to your seniors, learn from them. Then, as I think Bharat also mentioned, the attitude, the go-getter attitude is a very important personality trait, which I think is very important as far as the students are concerned. They should definitely have that and try to build in that. Hard work, hard work is something which is very, it's been important across. Initiative, taking capability, your initiative is very key, because what happens is sometimes you feel that yaar mera to kaam nahi hai, matlab jo mera kaam si main kar liya. But at the same time, if you take initiative, you do some other jobs also, you are learning that, and it is rounding you off for a better role, for a higher role. So those initiatives needs to be taken by the team. You have to be a team player, because everything cannot be done by yourself. So you have to work in a team. So when you're working in a team, sometimes you are a leader, sometimes you're also a follower. You have to be a good leader, but at the same time, you need to be a good follower also, so that you can effectively, or the team can effectively deliver. So what I mean to say is, just to sum up, that it is basically the scenario, the canvas is completely changing every day, and the change is accelerating. It is not getting constant, or the speed is not going down, it is rather going up. So we need to keep changing accordingly, and for that we need to work together. And whatever little I can contribute, I am always there. With this, I would like, if anyone would like to ask me any questions, and I would try to answer to best of my ability. Yeah, ma'am, over to you. It's open, because it will be more if it's a dialogue than a monologue.
Okay, okay. Any queries from any of the participants? As
Madam,
sir,
Madam Parminder, I think the students who have joined our today's this lecture must have the queries related to their future career options. They must come up with the queries from Mr. Ramanjit, who can answer their queries and end up their inquisitiveness. So Ramanji, I think from my side, one query on behalf of the students is that it is being thought that the total employment level is going down these days, and COVID has contributed a lot towards the downtown. Now, how these can be, repaired, I can say, how the success can be achieved in the future times. What are the extra learnings and how the attitude and the personality traits could be developed among the students to achieve the success as far as the corporate life is, concerned. So please guide our students on these front, please.
Okay, doctor, thanks for the question. Basically, yes, COVID has impacted the industry very harshly or very negatively. There is a degrowth in the industry across sectors. Certain sectors like hospitals and all, they have gone up. Medical industry has shown good revenue in this time, but general at large the industry has gone down. But this is not something which will be continuous. This would be it's a definitely a short term, 2 years, 3 years max. The as far as the students are concerned, what is required is that they need to, wherever you are or wherever you are aiming at a particular job, so you need to prepare yourself for that or in that field, and also try to have your backup plans, that if I am not successful in so and so industry which I want to get into, then what is my alternative which I would have. And for that, basically from a personal perspective, it is your learning abilities. You keep yourself updated and try to learn different things so that you are suitable, just not for one. You should be able to do it with other industry also. So that's what I feel.
hello sir, there is a question in the chat box. Shubham has asked that every industry should collaborate with at least 2 institutions to provide apprenticeship to students, especially in Punjab. What are your views regarding this?
I think Shubham has rightly said that it is the industry academia, what the subject of today. It's very valid because the in this changing world, if the industry and our academia work together, we will definitely be able to. Not only two, three, we should. The issue is today there are apprentice courses or apprentice people do come, but neither the industry is taking it seriously nor the students take it seriously. My own experience tells me, I get calls and call यही आओगी कि भाई जी सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए भी बच्चे ने छोटे इतने ट्रेनिंग करनी मतलब what he's got trained, what time has he spent, how he has spent that time, that is missing part. And from the industry also, when we say, okay, this student has or these students have come in for training, do you formally do some, timetable for them that, okay, day one, this will be the training, day two, this will be the training, and then you build it up that they're there with you for 2 months. This is what we are going to do for them. The industry also doesn't do it. So both ways, somewhere we have to do it, and it is one of the and it is advantageous for the industry also, because once you train people, tomorrow they are future employees for you. They are employable. You have trained according to your field. So yes, I fully agree that we should work together and try to maximize the number of students intake and take this training apprenticeship very seriously.
Yeah, sir, it's very right, and that the industry doesn't have a positive attitude. Even if we are sending certain student after BBA, but they are not very convenient while doing training with the industries in various fields.
I accept
There,
that, ma'am. In
yeah,
our, my own experience also,
yeah,
it is both
it is,
ways. Well, I have
yeah,
seen students, very less students do it very seriously, and I've seen those students being very successful also. Well,
yes,
they've taken their own initiative. They have, because if you look at the industry or the person whom you attach the student with, you go to so and so department. He feels ਵੀ यार मेरे कोले पहले ही काम बहुत है ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ मतलब एक बंदे ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਭੇਜਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੇ मैं ਕੀ
हाँ जी,
करना
हाँ
that
जी.
is मतलब from our perspective we don't take that very seriously.
Sir, actually,
Whereas
this
I
is
will
only the attitude you are telling. We are already overburdened with the work, and we have been told to train a
हाँ
student like that.
वही
This
मैम
is a,
देखो मतलब एक
हाँ
गल
जी,
as you rightly said it is mainly attitude कदे भी मतलब देखो what is मतलब if you have to manage मतलब what is your efficiency? Your efficiency is with minimum resources you have to give maximum output. So you have sufficient time if you really take it seriously. वो एक बहानेबाजी है भी नहीं मेरे को टाइम ही नहीं है मैं पहले ही overwork था मतलब we face this day in day out. Then you tell people you must take it seriously. मतलब
sir,
वो
can there be changes in the curriculum as far as employability of the students is concerned?
हाँ जी मैम मतलब
Yeah,
basically
that is
देखो
going to help.
yeah मतलब in case like we talk of like I mentioned in lighting industry because मेरा ज़्यादा experience lighting है.
Okay.
Like electronics is becoming a very key in lighting industry where it was not there earlier.
Okay.
Say glass, जिसमें मतलब in the lighting industry you handle lot of glass. There are no specific courses which handle these type of things. If industry and the colleges work together, such type of curriculums can be designed. Even if it is a vocational training, we give it to them. That okay, this is how, this is what happens. The industry can also support in training, where industry people can go to colleges and discuss these type of topics with the students. That what is required, what is changing, what changes are required.
Any other query? Any other query from the participant side? They can write in the chat box.
I think someone mentioned that if the industry
Yeah,
pay them, they'll be interested.
yeah.
I would like to differ on that.
Shubham has only mentioned it.
Okay, because when we did our MBA, there was a summer training and we got a stipend also. We accept that. But during that, if you take out our batch, that everyone who were paid was very serious in training. No, a person who is serious whether he's paid or he's not. It's basically the attitude of the individual, and I would also say the industry, matlab, to support these students in training.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightening lecture. I think our students are going to be benefited by it. Again, sir, before ending, there is another question. In today's era, there is too much unemployment in our country, and mostly youth is studying and pay high fees, but after that, even they don't have got jobs. So, what should we do something different? This is the question by Komal Preet, sir.
Yeah. Komal, I think you rightly put it that it is not only the fee part, it is also the hours you put in your life. You put in so many years of your life into doing this. So that is where the role comes in, what we've been discussing or what the topic today is about, that how to improve the employability of our students into the jobs. I think even privatization of education has not helped us in this. At certain places, I've personally experienced this. That engineering students we've been interviewing, and they don't know the least count of a vernier caliper. If it's an engineering student and he doesn't know that, that means what is the level of education being imparted to him? How seriously has he done it? So today, privatization, well, I'm not against privatization, but at the same time, I think that seriousness or that type quality of education needs to be done, and the curriculum has to be aligned to the need of the industry.
Sir, in addition to this, I want to say something that when our students are thinking on the materialistic basis, what will be the amount of salary they will be getting, what type of facilities they will be getting, actually they are overburdened and overstressed due to overthinking. They must think about the balanced and the successful life, not the perks, first of all. When you are entering into the corporate world, it is not the perks which matter, it is the experience and it is the attitude again which matters, because that will definitely drop you towards the success. When you will get some experiences with you, you will definitely get more amount of perks. And these days students are leaving one job and another job just for the small increments into the perks. That is again a wrong on part of the students. Whatever we like Ramanji has already talked about, the implementation of the theoretical part into the practical aspects, actually when you are working into the corporate life, which includes the stability first, the success, the balanced life, these should be there with the students. This is what, in addition to the success for the students into the future. I think one more question is there, Madam Parvinder, if you can
Yeah,
check the chat box.
yeah, it's from Shreya. I'm thinking of to pursue MBA in near future, but keeping in mind the current scenario and the unemployment which is at the peak, it is difficult to choose what to opt, as nowadays the fees which are being paid is much more higher than the earning which we get. Again, sir, I think this question relates to what you have told. Today, the people are more concerned about the perks
Yeah.
before putting their input.
And
Sir,
Yeah,
and
and
one more addition, who told you that MBA is for getting the job? Actually, MBA is not exactly that you do MBA and you will get a job. MBA means you need to develop a risk-taking capability and the abilities. That may be into the job, and that may be to establish a startup or the corporate, to be into the business. So it's not true that the jobs are less and unemployment is there. So why we go for MBA? MBA can change your attitude. Actually, the professional degrees are not to learn theoretically. Professional degrees are to learn the capabilities, to enhance the skills, to be more skillful, to get the work done. That is what from my side Ramanji can add upon.
yeah, to add to that, actually, ma'am, well, what we need to do, I would rather tell the students or share my experience that you need, well, there is a leading parameter, there is a lagging parameter. The leading parameter is to develop yourself for being employable, and that you do through knowledge. You build up certain soft skills, try to do those trainings. So that is the leading parameters. Employability will follow. So today what we are doing, we are focusing on the, not on the leading parameter but on the lagging parameter में मुझे job मिल जाए. Our focus should be that let me learn. If I learn, definitely I'll get a job. And even if you get a job, you have to prove yourself in the job and keep, learning again. It's a continuous process. I cannot say I did MBA, now I am through. Because the skill, when we joined in 85, the skill set required was different. Today, if you look at it in 2021, the skill set is completely different. So even if you have to keep yourself employable, you have to continuously keep on learning and continuously keep on focusing on your own self improvement. So basically thing is that let us do it, let us focus on improving ourselves and getting that skill set. Once you get that, I think employability is there, industry is coming up, industry will come up. There was a short, these 2 years because of corona, yes, there was a issue, but industries again started picking up. We do see last 2 months the trends picking up, the sales going up. So those signs, positive signs are coming up now.
So definitely, sir, definitely, what you are talking about, that खुद नाल किसे नालों नहीं खुद नालों बेहतर बनो, किसे
हाँ
नालों
वही.
नहीं खुद नालों बेहतर बनो. Until and then we will not be able to understand this thing and this particular thing into our mind, we will not get a chance to be better person into the life. You are talking about the soft skills, sir. But in addition to that, I got an opportunity to interact with the principal Khushvinder ji 2 years back, I think, in some talk that was related to the life skills. That is much more important than the soft skill. Before soft skill, you need to learn about the life skills. And these days, what I am witnessing that students are missing there also in the life skills. Till and then you will not be able to get the life skills into you. You will not be successful enough to implement your life skill into your own life. Life skills are not for anybody else. These are for you only. And when till and then you will not get accomplish those life skills, you will not go for the soft skills. So start from the life skills, learning the life skills, implementing the life skills, then go for the soft skills as Ramanji has already told. In addition to in integration with the practical aspects of the study, whatever you are going through your course curriculums, that will be a route to the success into the corporate world, into the coming future. This is in addition to the Ramanji's words.
Thank you, sir, for supporting him. And I think you have rightly said there is a blend of both types of learning is required to be successful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your enlightening lecture. Our students are surely going to be benefited by this. Now, coming towards the closure of the program, I would like to invite Dr. Ashwini Sharma, Dean, Physical Sciences, to propose a vote of thanks. Dr. Ashwini, sir.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Respected Principal Dr. Surya Kumar, Ramanjit Singh, CEO, Surya Roshni Ltd, Professor Shailendra Sidhu, Vice Principal, Dr. Singla, Dr. Gurdeep Singh, Professor Parminder Kaur, fellow colleagues, and dear participants, good afternoon to all. On the behalf of college management, principal, and college alumni, I'm highly indebted to Shri Ramanjit Singh ji for his very informative talk on the topic Industry Academia Interface. Sir, you have very nicely explained the need to keep pace with present scenario in industry by updating your skill-based knowledge. So it's possible only through active interaction between industry and academics. As we know, both are complementary to each other. I'm thankful to our esteemed principal and College Alumni Association for providing this platform of lecture series to refresh our knowledge that will benefit to our students. I'm also obliged to all the participants for their active involvement. I'm grateful to my fellow colleague Dr. Kuldeep, for providing technical support to make today's lecture a success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you all for giving me this opportunity, and please feel free to contact me as and when needed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anytime in Patiala, I would like to visit our college.
Yeah. I was about to tell you that whenever you visit Patiala, please let us know on behalf of the Alumni Association. I would like to invite from behalf of the Modi College also to the college, and you must visit our college and refresh your memories. So you are welcome,
Surely,
sir.
भरत होता मतलब एक कॉलेज तो साडा पहले थोड़ा बाद च है ਅਸੀਂ
बिल्कुल
तो
sir,
बहुत
बिल्कुल
पुराने हैं थोड़े को
बिल्कुल.
कॉलेज
So please,
नहीं
sir,
definitely next time in Patiala I would
yeah,
talk to Dr. Saab and
definitely,
visit the college because that will be a
yeah.
great experience for me also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So nice of you. Thank you.
Thank
हाँ
you,
जी
sir.
मैम, yeah, ठीक है.
Thanks.